Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review and wear test on the new Lawless Conceal the Deal Long Wear Full Coverage Foundation. I've heard some really amazing things about this, so I was like, let me go ahead and get my hands on this ASAP. So that's exactly what we're gonna be doing. I do quickly want to say, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new to my channel, or if you haven't done so, you need to make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, please go ahead and hit that post notification bell because I'll make sure you never miss my videos. Also, follow me on my other platforms, Instagram and TikTok, The Mexican Beauty, because whenever I'm not here, I am over there. So without further ado, let's kind of get right into this video. So I literally have no makeup on. It's very rare that I like start the video without brows. But guess what? We have some bomb ass lashes on right now, so I think that can just kind of make me look a little bit more presentable. But we have here a new foundation. This is the new Lawless Conceal the Deal foundation, and this foundation is supposed to be a long-wearing, lightweight, fluid foundation that delivers a modern, full coverage finish with a self-setting, natural matte finish that feels fresh and weightless on the skin. It is silicone-free. It provides blue light and antioxidant protection, while soothing irritation and sensitivity. So this foundation I did purchase on the Lawless website because it wasn't available on Sephora at the time. This did retail for $39 plus like shipping and all that. It ended up being $43, but like I said, you can purchase this in store and see what happens. I just couldn't wait because I wanted to get this review up. But this one is in the shade Tawny, and it is made in Italy, which is really interesting. Okay, so here you do get 1.01 ounces. I do want to go ahead and quickly apply my primer. So I'm going to be using my favorite primer at the moment, the Palladio Rice Primer. It's mattifying and perfecting. If you guys haven't gotten your hands on this, highly recommend you guys check it out. It is sold at Sally Beauty, or you can find it on Amazon, or also Palladio's website. But this stuff is like the bomb.com. So you guys know the drill. On one side, we're gonna be using the sponge, and on the other side, we're gonna be using our brush. So I do wanna shake it well because it is a serum-like consistency. So I just wanna make sure that it's like really good to go. And I hope this is the right shade. This is supposed to be, I think, hold on, I have it in the description. So it's Tawny medium tan with neutral undertones. And I was like, I feel like this will be the right shade. I don't know, because sometimes you can just get the wrong shade, especially when you order things online. So we shall see, but I think this should be good. So this is what it looks like. It's slightly runny, but it still feels like it has pigmentation. I'm gonna be using my Araceli Beauty Bella Sponge. Looks nice. Very, very lightweight. It's not super creamy at all. You guys can see it covers a good amount, but you can still see a little bit of like the sheerness right in this area. I'm not sure if it's because of the sponge, because you guys know the sponge is damp, so it tends to absorb a little bit more of that product. Coverage, like for a buildable finish, is really nice because I do feel like you can customize it if you want it to be more full coverage, more natural, more sheer. I think it'll give you that just because it is a very lightweight product. It's also saying that it's self-setting. Not exactly sure what that means in terms of like, does that mean that I can just skip out on the setting spray? I'm gonna build it up because it's so lightweight that even though you may go in with more product, it literally doesn't feel heavy at all. Okay, so it definitely can build up to a very good full coverage finish, because look how pretty that looks. That looks so pretty. This is the type of coverage that I personally like. Like if I'm gonna be going in with makeup, I'm gonna be going in. Like I'm not just gonna like half-ass my makeup look. Unless I do want like a more natural look, then I'll probably go in for like a tinted moisturizer or like a CC cream. But when I want coverage, this is the type of coverage that I want from a foundation. But what's so cool about this is, like I just mentioned, is that it's so lightweight that it doesn't feel like you have anything on the face. You guys can see the difference between having the foundation on this side and not having anything on this side. You can definitely tell how easily and fast is the setting. I definitely do get like a semi-matte finish from this because it doesn't look as like radiant as it did when I first applied it, especially because it is such a serum-like consistency. Sometimes those tend to like stay glowy, but this is setting and looking really nice and like a soft matte finish. I also like the color. I feel like the color matches me really well. My fear is always that I'm gonna get a color that's too orange or too light. I think more so orange, because I feel like when something looks orange on me, I'm just like, I'm not a fan of it, even if the formula may be good, because I feel like the orange can throw people off easily. Okay, so right away, I definitely do feel like the damp sponge absorbed a little bit of that product, because from one application, I'm getting very full coverage results like this. And you guys can see when you first apply it, it looks a little luminous, and then it sets like this. So definitely getting that semi-matte finish once the product sets into place. Okay, so if you want full coverage quicker, I would say go in with a brush. Don't go in with a damp sponge. Another thing I will say, the product doesn't set too fast, so you don't have to worry about working too quickly with it. I feel like it sets very nicely. It looks beautiful. And honestly, I don't think I need another layer on here, because I feel like what I got here with 2 layers is what I got here with 1 layer. So I think this is really good the way it is. So I personally would say, for me who likes more full coverage, I would just go in with a brush from the get-go. If you like more so buildable coverage or sheer, then I would use a damp sponge. But I think both sides look really nice. Definitely getting my full coverage that I wanted out of this. I like how lightweight it is. I like how it feels on the skin. Let me go ahead and touch it and see if it's sticky. It's not sticky. So it definitely does set, because a lot of foundations, as soon as you touch them, so sticky. Yeah, this one's still setting because it does feel a little bit sticky, but I just applied it. This doesn't feel sticky whatsoever. It was really good. They feel so lightweight. Okay, Lawless, this is really impressing me. As for the color Tawny, I think this is my perfect match. I will have my shade references down below so you guys can go ahead and match yourself and see if you're around the same complexion as me, but this is working out for me. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my very first impressions on how this works with everything else, and then we can go ahead and start our day and also do our natural lighting clip. So I'll be right back looking more polished. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 11 a.m. and I'm ready to give you guys my first initial thoughts on the new Lawless foundation. So this foundation stayed really nice, matte and in place. I didn't have to go in with any powder to set like the areas where I get oily, so like the T-zone or the smile lines, which was really nice. The only area where I did use powder, of course, is my under eyes, because I do crease, so I have to go ahead and set that when I apply concealer. For concealer, I just used my Morphe 2 concealer. I wanted to use something super lightweight. I didn't really want to go in with anything too heavy, because I do feel like this foundation gave me really great coverage all throughout, so I just didn't feel the need to go in with anything else. I do feel like the foundation is a nice shade. I went ahead and bronzed it up and did a bunch of my usuals, blush, a little bit of highlight, you know. But I do feel like it worked really well with everything else. I didn't sense it to crease or give me any issues with the blush, because sometimes with blush, when you apply blush to a foundation, it can separate. But I think because the foundation is so lightweight and it becomes one with the skin, it gave me no problems of separating underneath of any added products that I went on with on top. So I really like that. Oh, one more thing I do want to say is I would highly recommend you use this foundation with a brush as opposed to a sponge. And the reason why I say that is because when I was applying the concealer, I noticed that the concealer was shearing out just a pinch bit with the sponge. And I do have to say my sponge was a little bit more damp than usual, just because I did go ahead and clean it before I used it. I'd say use a little bit of a less damp sponge if you do use a sponge, or even like a more dry sponge, just so that it doesn't absorb too much of the product. Those are pretty much all my thoughts. Everything else looks really nice on the face, so I definitely do appreciate that. I will have all the details of what I use on this face down below. I actually use pretty much all Kylie Cosmetic products, but I'll have everything else down below. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is show you how this foundation looks in natural lighting, and then I will see you guys in the evening for my final thoughts. So stay tuned to see what I think of this Lawless foundation. Guys, so I am back. It is now 5 p.m. and I'm ready to give you guys my final thoughts on the Lawless foundation. So this is what we're looking by the end of the day, and you guys can see that we definitely do have a little bit of some dew on the face. I also did wear my mask because I did go out, and there is a little bit of transfer on the cheek area. I feel like the transfer really happened where there is a little bit of texture, but everywhere else it held up pretty well. I definitely don't think that this foundation stays completely matte on you if you do have very oily skin like I do. I think it will get dewy. I think it was about hour 5 that it started to get dewy. So I would say just keep that in mind. I have been wearing this for 7 hours. So like 2 hours ago is when it started to get this dew come through. I would probably retouch it with some powder through the day if I wanted to continue wearing this for longer. But I think that for somebody who's looking for something to stay matte, if you do have very oily skin, it's not gonna stay matte the entire day. I think this will work great for people that have like normal to combination skin. I also think that it could also work really well with people that have dry skin because it is a foundation that's a serum-like, so it's very, very lightweight. It's not gonna be heavy and thick where it's gonna separate on those dry patches. I don't think it's bad for somebody that does have oily skin, but it's not the most matte consistency for the entire day. So I think that for like the $39 price point, I think that it's really pretty in the sense of it feels very lightweight, even though you can build it up to a super full coverage foundation. I also like the fact that it sets so nicely. Does it transfer a little bit, like you guys saw where I said like in the areas where I wore a mask, but not as much as some other foundations. So I definitely did appreciate that because I definitely do think it gives a nice setting effect. But I would say the only thing for me is the dewiness around the areas where I typically get dewy, which is the T-zone. So I definitely do think that this is one of those foundations that I love that effect of the self-setting. It's very different than some of the other products I've tried because typically like things are still super tacky, but this one really stays nice and in place. It sets nicely, but it doesn't set too fast. So I would definitely give this a go if you have been curious about it. I know that it is now on Lawless website. That's where I purchased it. I think it will be on Sephora's website soon. I don't think it's on there just yet. So just keep that in mind. Also, I would say this is a foundation to keep in mind for the upcoming Sephora sale, which I think will probably be next month, maybe. I know it's coming because they always do a fall one, but I would keep my eyes peeled for this, for that sale. If you don't want to spend $30-something, you can always get that discount once the Sephora sale comes around. But this is definitely one to keep in mind. I will continue using this and let you guys know how I continue to like it in the next few weeks, but I really do like how it just applies on the skin and it doesn't feel heavy or like I'm wearing anything on the face. So those are pretty much my thoughts on this new Lawless foundation. Let me know down below if you have picked it up or if you have any well-developed thoughts on this. I would love to hear what they are. So please go ahead. Let's start a conversation down below in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy watching it. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll see you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.